Hello, my beautiful watchers, and welcome back to my personal hell. We are continuing with the Mr. Livestream, and joining me today is my friend Jesse.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, hopefully everyone's going to be doing good, because I'm not.
What level of hell am I? Am I like the fifth level, sixth level?
It depends how these chapters go, because my poor friend Jamie, who had the last one, had... Is there a level of hell that's just pure boredom? Because we had nothing but a trip between London and Cornwall that was just describing every cup holder, every cigarette end, every gas stop, everything,
Oh
and
my
like
god.
with one bit in the middle where the main character described escaping sex slavery.
Oh,
So
fun. I mean, that's how my normal trips go.
yeah,
That's what I
just
do.
shuts boredom, 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 life paradigm shifting story, boredom, boredom, boredom. Arrived.
Oh my
Have a beer.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awful in the worst way.
Yep. So some of you guys may know Jessie already from her channel, her YouTube channel. I believe you primarily look at Star Trek and all things
Yeah.
Star Trek related. I've been really enjoying your videos about Lower Decks, which is my absolute new favorite show right now.
I love it so much. I love it so much. I'm glad that you got into it because it's been the best thing. It's brought me so much joy.
Yeah. Now I'm glad I waited till like season 2 was just coming out before I got really into it, because now waiting for season 3 is going to be a nightmare, because I'm not a patient man.
No, I know. Especially like I was saying this without spoiling too much. There's a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of season 2, and I'm like, I was thinking about like, oh, between Best of Both Worlds and Best of Both Worlds Part 2 and the next iteration was like, oh, it was like 2 months. Now we have to wait a whole freaking year because
Yeah.
of streaming stuff, and I despise
Yeah. No.
everything.
Excellent. Okay, so let me try and fill you in on what's happened so far. So,
I'm
the
excited.
the dual main characters are the guy called Maximilian, and he's got like 15 other names. We've been calling him Maximilian Thickbasket so far, or various other things. Lives in London. He is recently bereaved of his elder brother, and he's just inherited like an actual aristocratic title because his brother died. He's banging his late brother's widow. Not in a healthy, like, this isn't like true love sort of thing. He is just like, oh, this is super unhealthy, but I am a toxic, horrible asshole, so this is what I do.
Fair.
They call it a daily. It's like a daily cleaner, basically, a housemaid who doesn't actually live in. She is, I believe, Eastern European. She was smuggled to Britain as part of a sex, adult work smugglers.
Sex worker. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say the word cult, but that's not right because that's like religious overtones. It's a crime syndicate, basically, where they smuggle women in for sex work. But she managed to escape. She ran away while they were in the bathroom in like a gas station or something to that effect. So now she works as a cleaner. I forget her name. I've been calling her not Anna when I think about her. So
Not Anna. Got it.
yeah, she's very small, submissive. She has a mental condition where she sees sound. I forget what the actual... I keep calling it like circumsempra, but I'm pretty sure it's a Harry Potter spell.
Synesthesia?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Synesthesia? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, synesthesia, and this makes her like a musical prodigy. He's a piano player. He writes music and stuff because, of course, he does. He's the biggest hipster douchebag you will ever meet.
So all the people that I hung out with in college. Got it.
But yeah, I mean, he's got black and white photos that he took himself on his walls. He's got a piano that he plays. He wears chunky cream sweaters, which I'm not quite sure what that is. I think it's what Chris Evans was wearing in Knives Out.
Oh my god. Okay,
I could be wrong.
I lived for that sweater.
That was a good sweater.
The cord sweater, yeah.
But this douchebag, he's not pulling it off, even in my head. I mean, I get to choose what he looks like, but he looks awful. So yeah, he's... some people tried to bust their way into his luxury apartment, but he fended them off with all the power of his upper-class sense of entitlement. And it turns out they're there to try and recapture her, take not Anna back into this, slavery cult or whatever. And
Okay.
so much like the storyline to the plot of Beastly, he has now taken her to his summer home to hide her for a bit because that's the only thing he could think of. He couldn't use any of his massive wealth and power to actually protect her legally. He had to take her away to a excluded spot where they are now exchanging stories, and I think that's about it. Like I said, the last couple of chapters, very little happened apart from this agonizingly slow journey. They had a couple of beers, caught up on how great his life was, and now he went to bed congratulating himself on how great he is for not taking advantage of this lost, scared, woman who speaks very broken English and has absolutely no power in this situation. And then she was screaming, and that's the last thing that happened at the end of chapter 11.
Great.
So that's where we pick up this epic tale.
This sounds wonderful. I'm very excited.
All right, so let's do this one.
I'm also going to apologize in advance because I'm looking at the first page of where I'm going to have to start reading, and there's words in another language that I already know I'm going to mispronounce. So apologies to everybody.
No one so far has even attempted that. I think most of the American readers I've had couldn't even pronounce the word Thames, so we've been calling it the River Thanos until now. So
I'll take that.
So I think I want to say she's Romanian, but it's been a while since I've seen it. So apologies if you guys, if anyone watching is more sort of clued into this than I am. But okay,
all right, let's do this. Chapter 12. It takes me a couple seconds to orient myself, and she screams again. Fuck, Elisa. I fly to bed as adrenaline fuels my body, bringing all my senses to attention. Punching the lights on in the hall, I burst into her room. Elisa is sitting up in her bed. Her head whips around at the sound and light. Her head whips around at the sound and light from the hallway, her eyes wild with terror.
E.L. James, the way she writes, it makes it so difficult to read because it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting an extra adjective there, or, you know?
It's like, what? It whips around at the sound and light.
Sound and light, yeah, so she's hearing the sound and light, or seeing, like, both senses, but, like, it's such an unnecessary sentence because she could have just said sound for the same fate, or just her head rips around, but she has to describe, like, the molecules of light bouncing off her corona made her turn her head. Oh, sorry,
it hit the red cones of her eyeball.
Yeah. No, like I said, every particle in the air has to be described in this, and it drives me mad. Sorry, look, I gotta let you read a bit more because, like, if I interject every time something drives me mad, we're never gonna get through this. Okay.
Let's do it. She opens her mouth to scream again. Alyssa, it's me, Maxim. Her words rush out in a torrent. Bunch of other language words that I'm not gonna try to pronounce. What? I sit down beside her on the bed, and she launches herself at me, nearly knocking me over and wrapping her arms around my neck.
Oh, this is going to end in sex, isn't it? Oh, no. Okay. I should have realized, like, even when these, like, it's going to be bad dream leads to sex. I should have seen this coming. I'm a fool.
We're already there. Hey, I soothe her once I've regained my balance, and I hold her, stroking her hair. A bunch more things in another language. She whispers over and over as she clings to me, trembling like a newborn foal. Ooh. English, in English. The dark, she whispers against my neck. I hate the dark. It is so dark here. Oh, thank fuck.
Fuck is his favourite word. He just swears constantly. And bear in mind, he's described as having a very posh, upper-class English accent, so he's saying, well, fuck, oh, goodness.
Yes.
No.
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh, thank fuck, this woman's okay.
And now I needed to know this. I'd imagined all manner of horrors and was prepared to fight any number of monsters, but I relax at her words. Keeping one arm around her, I lean over and switch on the bedside light. That better? I ask, but she doesn't let go. It's okay, I've got you, I repeat several times. After a few minutes, her trembling ceases and her body relaxes. She sits back and her eyes meet mine. I am so sorry, she whispers. Hush, don't worry, I'm here. She glances down at my chest, and a slow flush pinks her cheeks. Yeah, I sleep I don't know, I've suddenly become like, yeah, sleep naked. Count yourself lucky I put these on. I don't know, I've suddenly
He's gone Cockney. Get yourself lucky, governor. I'll put these pyjama pants on.
One thing you'll notice about me is my accents are never consistent. So
no, this is making it much more bearable. Please continue.
Her mouth softens. I know, she says, and peeks up at me through her long lashes. You know? Yes, you sleep naked. You've seen me? Yes. Her smile is unexpected. Her smile is unexpected. Well, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm grateful that she's back from whatever terror she was facing in the dark, but she continues to glance around the room anxiously. I am sorry, I did not mean to wake you, she says. I was frightened. Was it a nightmare? She nods, and when I open my eyes and it is so dark, she shivers. I did not know if it was dreaming or awake, if I was dreaming or awake. I think that would make anyone scream. It's not like London here. There's no light pollution in Trevthick.
I think that's his. This is actually the place he's the Earl of. He's like the Earl of Trevor Thickbusk, like Thick Dick or something. Gotcha. Like. So yeah, Yeah, he's basically taken her to his ancestral home, which, again, this perpetuates a terrible, like, British stereotype that we all have. There's, like, every third person's landed gentry.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the case when I spent time in London. Everyone was just like, yeah, back at my summer home. Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone has a summer home. Everyone knows exactly where they are in line for the throne. Like, E.L. James, she's... Oh.
The dark here is... dark. Yes, like the... She stops and cringes in revulsion. Like, I whisper, the teasing amusement in her eyes has vanished, replaced by a harrowed, strained expression. Turning her face away, she stares down at her lap. I rub her back when I'm met with her silence. Tell me, I prompt. In the, how do you say, camion? Mispronouncing that word terribly. Truck? In the truck, she says, suddenly inspired. I swallow. Truck? Yes, that brought us to England. It was metal, like a box, and dark, and cold, and the smell. Her words are barely audible. Fuck, I say under my breath.
So it's meant to be a serious scene. It's just like, oh, this woman was kidnapped and brought against her will and thrown in a box. She's got, like, terrible claustrophobia and clearly has PTSD. And she's just like, fuck.
Fuck. That sounds like shit.
What are you, Geralt of Rivia? Like...
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, now I'm imagining him as that, but...
Again, improvement.
Yes, way more improvement.
Yeah.
Fuck, I say under my breath and fold her in my arms again. She seems a little more reluctant to hug me this time, probably because I'm shirtless. But I'm not going to leave her to face these gruesome nightmares on her own. In one swift movement, I stand, cradling her against my chest. She gasps in surprise. I think you should sleep with me. And without... Oh boy. And without waiting for a response, I carry her into my room, flick on the lights, and deposit her on the floor, besides the walk-in wardrobe.
Yes, this is a perfect thing to do with a woman who was just talking about her kidnapped to sell into sex work. Pick her up again without warning against her will and say, you're going to sleep with me now. That's couldn't possibly be misinterpreted and give her a full-on panic attack.
Yeah. Inside, I find the pajama shirt and hand it to her. I point to the ensuite. You can go and change in there. You can go and change in there. You can't be comfortable sleeping in your jeans and that school sweater. I grimace at her green woolen pullover.
Judgy bastard.
She blinks rapidly. Shit. Perhaps I've really overstepped the mark. And suddenly I feel a little self-conscious. Unless, of course, you'd rather sleep alone. I've never slept with a man, she whispers. Oh. I won't touch you. Oh, unclear who's saying this. I won't touch you. This is just sleep, so the next time you scream, I'll be right there. Of course, I'd like to make her scream in a different way. Oh.
That was a lot to take in just in one go. Okay.
Yep.
That sentence, I think, has just taken a few years off my lifespan.
Mm-hmm. It has on mine already. All right. I'm like, what, 2 pages in so far?
Yeah, I know.
Alicia, I'm glad this is the best place to have started. Alicia hesitates, looking from me to the bed, and her lips purse with what I think is resolve. With resolve. I want to sleep here with you, she whispers, and she marches into the ensuite, not shutting the door until she's found the light switch.
Oh, okay, yep.
Feeling relieved, I stare at the closed bathroom door. At 23, she's never slept with a man?
Again, she was kidnapped and sold into sex work, like slavery. What part of that makes you think, oh, she's going to have a great emotionally, mature sex life after that? My goodness.
Even beyond that, like, it's just like 23. Not having slept with anybody at 23 is pretty normal.
Very normal. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm not going to think about that right now. It's after 3 a.m. and I'm tired. Elisa gazes at her pale face in the mirror.
Oh yeah, I should warn you. They change from present tense to past tense between him. I don't know why, but it's just what she do. It's just how she do.
All right. Well, Alright, I guess I gotta go to narrator voice now. I don't know why the narrator voice suddenly I don't know, I'm just going cockney
The
all the
Cockney
time.
seems to be like taking its hold on you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I could do weird voices, but they just never stay consistent. At least you're not getting like Gold Prospector, like Elisa gazes at her pale face in the mirror.
Again, nothing could make this book worse, so please go nuts.
I'll go for it. Wide eyes with dark circles beneath them reflect back at her. Taking a deep breath, she shakes off the remnants of her nightmare. She'd been back in the container, but this time without the other girls. Oh, God, maybe the Cockney's not the best choice for this. She was alone, in the dark, in the cold, with that smell. She shivers and strips off her clothes. She'd forgotten where she was until he appeared. Mr. Maxim. She's saving her again. Her own... Again, another word
Saving
I don't
her
know.
from nothing. But...
Yeah. Her own word I don't know, Albania's hero. So I'm assuming it's the word
Folklore
the name of an Albanian
person,
hero.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Albania, sorry, yes, not Romania. I keep getting those two mixed up.
Got it. Good to know. He's making a habit of this, and she's going to sleep with him. He'll keep her nightmares at bay. If her father found out, he would kill her. And her mother, she visualizes her mother fainting at the news that Elisa is sleeping with a man who is not her husband. Don't think about Baba and Mama. Her dear, dear mother had sent Elisa to England thinking she was saving her. She was wrong. So wrong. Oh, Mama. For now, she is safe with Mr. Maxim. She struggles into the PJ top, which is too big. She undoes her braid, shakes out her hair, then tries to tame it with her fingers, but gives up. Gathering her clothes under one arm, she opens the door. Mr. Maxim's room is larger and airier than the other bedroom. It's also off-white, but here the furniture is polished wood, maxing the sleigh bed that dominates the room. He is standing on the far side of the bed, and his eyes widen as he studies her.
Sorry, the mental image I got was him standing on the bed, like he's about to start jumping on it for a second there, just the way it was worded. He's like standing on the bed, just like, yo, welcome to Fort Kickass.
I'm also imagining him like being like all regal about it. It's like, yes,
Yes, I am the Lord High Earl of Bedfort. Come join me and be my subject.
There you are, he says, his voice husky. I was wondering if I should send a search party.
Ugh.
Her gaze drifts from his startling green eyes to the tattoo on his arm. She has only glimpsed parts of it before, but even from across the room she can see the design. A two-headed eagle. Albania. What? He follows her stare and looks down at his tattoo. Oh, this, he says. It's a folly of youth. He sounds a little embarrassed, and he frowns, seemingly puzzled by her keen interest. She can't take her eyes off the ink as she walks towards him. He raises his elbow as she can have a better look. He raises his elbow so she can have a better look. Inscribed across his bicep is a black shield bearing the imagery of an ivory two-headed eagle hovering over 5 yellow circles that are in the shape of an inverted V. Elisa places her clothes on the footstool at the end of the bed and raises her hand to touch his arm, glancing at Maxim for permission. At least there's consent?
Yeah, well, from her, yeah, she was never the one I was worried about. But like, apparently we're suddenly in Game of Thrones and everyone's house sigil has to be described, because I'm assuming this is going to be like the ancient sigil of thick dick or whatever.
My house name is Naked Like the Day I Was Born. My house words. All right, let's see. Oh, back to him now.
Oh, that was quick.
I hold my breath as she traces the outline of my tattoo, her fingers skirting across my skin, her light touch echoing through my body, toward my groin, and I suppress a groan.
I bet he's hating that.
Yeah, it's awful. This is the symbol for my country, she whispers. The two-headed eagle is on the Albanian flag. What are the odds? I grit my teeth. I'm not sure how long I can bear her touch without reciprocating. But not these yellow circles, she adds. They're called Byzants? I sound real... They're called Byzants! I sound really hoarse. Byzant? Yes, it represents a coin. In Albania, we have the same word. Why do you have this tattoo? What does it mean? Alluring eyes peer up at me. What can I say? This is the shield from my family's coat of arms. House sigil, quite literally.
Yep, called it.
I don't want to explain my family's heraldry at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the truth is, I had the tattoo done to piss off my mother. She hates them. But of the family coat of arms, how could she complain? Like I said, a folly of youth. My eyes stray from her eyes to her lips. I swallow. It's too late to discuss this now. Let's sleep. I toss back the quilt on the bed and step aside so she can climb in. She obliges, revealing long, slender legs beneath the pajama shirt that is way too big for her. This is torture. What is this word, folly? She asks as I walk around the bed. She's propped herself up on her elbow, and her glorious dark hair falls in a riot of loose waves over her shoulders, past the contour of her breasts, and onto the bed. She looks gorgeous, and I'm going to have to keep my hands off her.
Oh yeah, you poor bastard, not forcing yourself on a woman instantly. You miracle amongst men for keeping your hands to yourself.
Oh, how wonderful I am. Oh, I'm going to just have to do it. I'm going to have to do it, steal myself. Oh.
Yeah, well, you'll get your sainthood and knighthood and all other things straight afterwards for this great sacrifice of not fucking a woman.
God. What's sad is, like, this feels like I've heard this exact mentality in real life, so it's like, it's not very far off.
Yeah, do you have any idea how hard it was for me being near you and not doing stuff? It's like, ye gods, man, that is the words of a psychopath.
Yeah. All right. Folly in this... What is this, like a dictionary definition? Folly... This sounds like something straight out of Lemony Snicket, this line. Folly in this case means a foolish action, I say as I join her in bed.
You're not wrong. That is, folly. To mean this, that, the other. Thanks, Olaf.
That's like quite literally just Lemony Snicket suddenly joined the chat. I say as I join her in bed. I almost snort at the irony of my word definition. If sleeping next to this beautiful girl isn't folly, I don't know what is. Then why are you doing it? Anyways.
Yeah, you didn't even give her a choice in the matter. You just grabbed her, dragged her to your bed, and now you've been moaning the fact.
Mm-hmm. Folly, she whispers as she lays her head on the pillow. I dim the bedside light so it glows in the darkness, but I don't switch it off, just in case she wakes again. Yes, folly. I lie down and close my eyes. Go to sleep. Good night, she whispers, her voice soft and sweet. And thank you. I groan. This is going to be torture. I turn on my side, away from her, and start counting sheep. And then we're into some...
Does anyone actually do that? I've awful like...
I actually do. It does help me, because I have like actually like a lot of like insomnia every once in a while, so counting sheep does tend to help.
Okay, I may try that, because I also never sleep. So.
It's just like I usually wander off when I'm like I need to like wander off and think of something. So like counting sheep is like a way to like focus my mind on something to eventually follow off to. So that's nice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Not bad idea. Oh yeah. So about to start like baby's first poetry.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm lying on the lawn near the towering stone wall that surrounds the kitchen garden in Tressilian Hall. The summer sun warms my skin. The scent from the lavender that rings the lawn and the sweet fragrance of the roses that climb the wall waft over me. I'm warm. I'm happy. I'm home. A girlish laugh catches my attention. I turn my head, drawn to the sound, but I'm blinded by the sun and can see her only in outline. Her long raven hair blows in the breeze, and she's swathed in a translucent blue housecoat. It billows out around her slim, silhouetted figure. Alisa. The scent of flowers intensifies, and I close my eyes to inhale their sweet, intoxicating perfume. When I open them, she's gone.
Well, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a very wonderful dream.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is where we're going. Okay, I can see where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
I wake with a start. Morning is bleeding through the cracks between the blinds. Elisa has trespassed onto my side of the bed, and she nestled under my arm, her hand balled in a fist on my abdomen, her head on my chest, her leg intertwined with mine. She is all over me, and fast asleep, and my cock is wide awake and rock hard. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Woo! Oh, God. Are you gonna be okay?
I knew he was gonna wake up, and it's like, oh no, her slender, perky boobs are resting on me. The morning wood I didn't see coming, and I should have done. I should have seen it coming, because she's gonna like, oh, okay, no,
Here we go.
Just need to reset, hang on. Okay, hit me.
Prepare yourself.
There's no preparing for this. It's worse every time.
Oh, God, I whisper and brush my nose against her hair. Oh, boy.
What does that help with?
Whew. Lavender and roses. Intoxicating. My heart rate flips into overdrive as I make a mental list of all the possibilities this scenario presents.
Dude, think of baseball.
Yeah, right? Elisa in my arms, ready, waiting. She is so tantalizing, so close. Too close. If I roll over, she'll be on her back, and I can finally bury myself in her.
Again, consent hasn't even occurred to this man.
Not even a passing glance to it. If I roll over, I just said that. I stare up at the ceiling, praying for self-control. Oh, God.
I don't know.
Like,
he's this close to sexually assaulting someone all the way through the book, and it's making me so anxious. Like, I am constantly on edge reading this, you know?
Yeah, it's like, getting into it's like very, very uncomfortable because like you just very clearly like, I just want to fuck her right now. And I'm barely constraining myself.
Exactly.
Like,
he could snap at any moment, and I don't see why that's not terrifying, you know?
Yeah, it's absolutely, no, this is like, I'm trying to make, I'm like laughing at it to mask the horror.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I know if I move, she'll wake, so I torture myself some more and lie still, enjoying the sweet, sweet agony of having her sprawled all over me.
Dude, it's just a woman touching you. Jeebus.
Jesus Christ. I gather a lock of her hair between my fingers.
Oh, good, it got creepier.
Yeah, no, this is definitely passing consent issues. Surprised by how soft and silky it feels. She stirs, her fisted hand flexes, and her fingers splay out on my belly, tickling the beginning of my pubic hair.
That's a sentence we now have to process, okay? Yep.
Mm-hmm. Take a guess what the next word is.
Oh, is it some sort of loud swear word?
Yep.
Okay.
Fuck! There you go. I'm so hard and want nothing more than to grab her hand and wrap it around my erection. I'll probably explode if I do. She murmurs. Her eyelids flicker open, and she looks dreamily up at me. Good morning. Good morning, Elisa. I'm breathless. She gasps and scrambles to put some space between us. As would I, if I was waking up to this creeper. I was enjoying your visit to my side of the bed, I tease. She pulls the cover up to her chin, her cheeky rosy, her smile shy. Good morning, she says. Sleep well? I ask as I roll onto my side to face her. Yes, thank you. Hungry? I know I am, and not for food. She nods. Do you really mean yes? She frowns. You said in the car yesterday that in Albania it's the opposite. You remembered. She sounded pleased and surprised. Got it. Okay, so I guess it's like the head
shaking your head and nodding. Yeah, apparently that's a legit thing. It's in Albania it's reversed and.
Did not know that.
Yeah, apparently. So well done. E.L. James taught us something.
We're learning about culture. So that's a plus.
Yeah, but I mean, it comes wrapped up in a package of infantizing anyone from outside of England or America or something, So.
Oh yeah, no, it's I'm not saying it's great, but yeah. I guess I'll take away something positive. I guess I'll look for what I can. Let's see, where am I? I remember everything you say. I want to tell her she looks very lovely this morning, but I refrain. I'm behaving. I like sleeping with you, she says, confounding me. Well, that makes two of us. I did not have bad dreams. Good. Me neither. She laughs and I try to recall the dream that woke me. All I know is that she was a part of it. As usual. I dreamt about you. Me? Yes. Are you sure it was not a nightmare? She teases. I grin. Quite sure. She smiles. She has a bewitching smile. Perfect white teeth, pink lips that are parted possibly in invitation?
I don't think so, mate.
I don't think that's how lips work.
Yeah.
Great.
This man would take, breathing in and out as an invitation. Again,
just
this
existing.
This is not written. Yeah, this is not written to be a scary story about a massive creepo. That's what is the most mind-boggling thing about it. Is this is some person's idea of an alluring character. It's this person who is inches away from snapping and doing something incredibly criminal, and just looking at someone's body and just seeing it all as sort of subliminal messages to do what he wants with her. It just boggles the mind.
It is. It's just sitting here, having only read half a chapter so far of this thing. It's just I can see some allure to even 50 Shades of Grey. I've never read it, but I get the idea of there's this guy that just wants to desire me and objectify me in a way that I'm I'm investing in it in a consenting way, and it's still creepy and weird, but I can see some sort of appeal of that. But this weird infantilization of Albanian people and culture, the sex work, the constant bringing up I was alone in the dark in this box with this smell.
Yeah.
It's counteracting that next to waking up to I'm gonna fuck. It's just
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, the
weird.
Juxtaposition of I have this extreme trauma that actually happened in the real world and is a terrible, terrible, horrible thing that ruins lives. To oh man, she's nearly touching my dick.
Yeah, it's just it's just a weird thing to even think yeah, that's gonna prime me for the boning. I don't.
Anyway, yep, we got this.
Where was I? Yes, right here. Okay, yeah, his next line, after all that, you look very desirable. The words come out of my mouth in an unguarded moment. Her deep brown eyes dilate, captivating me. Desirable? Her breath catches. Yes. The silence stretches between us as we gaze at each other. I don't know what to do, she whispers. I close my eyes and swallow while her words from last night echo in my head. I have never slept with a man. You're a virgin? I whisper and open my eyes to study her face. She blushes. Yes. Her simple affirmation is like an ice bath to my libido. I've only slept with one virgin, and that was Caroline. It was my first time, too, and it was a disaster that nearly got us expelled from school. After that, my father took me to a high-class brothel in Bloomsbury.
Well, this escalated fast.
Yeah, I can now understanding where he gets it, if that's his father's reaction.
Yeah.
Jesus. If you're going to start fucking girls, Maxim, you'd better learn how to fuck.
Also,
that's the voice that...
brothels aren't legal in the UK. You can escorts are, but actual brothel houses are not legal. So I don't know where she's getting that from.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh boy. Where's the old James from? Is she American? I don't.
No, I think she's British because there was a whole thing in the first 50 Shades book where there was a lot of Britishisms mixed in there. So this woman is supposedly from I think she lived in Seattle, but she was talking about like the pavement and all the sorts of, she didn't really edit things to speak like an American. So it's basically British cadence with American terminology or vice versa.
Sounds fun.
But yeah, she doesn't seem to understand Britain any more than she understands America, it seems. So that's good to know.
I mean, I barely understand America, so I get it, even though I've been born here my entire life. Let's see. Yes. I was 15 and Caroline moved on until Kit's death. Bloody hell.
Kit's old. I believe Caroline. So Caroline slept with him, married his brother. His brother died, and is now hate bonking him again. So that's that whole thing.
Yeah.
Also, you're lucky you weren't there for the chapters with his mother in it, because it was so Oedipal. It was.
Oh boy.
It was. Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, he would not stop talking about how hot his mother was. It was viscerally disturbing.
Oh God, that's okay. Yeah, my mother's very bangable. I just want you all to know.
Basically, that's how his mind was working. But like, I'm starting to see, in context, it kind of makes sense that he's this messed up. But
yeah. I mean, to be fair, he has a summer home, so I assume everyone who has a summer home is at least some form of fucked up.
Very good point.
Let's see. Alisa's a virgin at 23? Of course she is. What did I expect? She's different from every woman I've ever known.
Oh no, he said it. She's not like those other girls. Okay. Yep. It couldn't be anything to do with the sex slavery! The kidnapping and the human trafficking might have something to do more with just how pure she is, you know? Oh, sorry, please continue.
No, you don't have to apologize. You're saying what I'm thinking. Oh boy. I've just jumped into this midway, so I'm like still trying to process it as I'm trying to.
It doesn't get any easier, I'm sorry.
It's all right. And she's looking at me all big eyes and expectation. I wonder again at the folly of bringing her here. Alisa frowns, anxiety etched on her face. Shit. Reaching forward, I brush my thumb against her pouty bottom lip. She inhales sharply. I want to, Alisa, very much, but I want you to want me too. I think we need to get to know each other before we take whatever this is any further. There, was that the grown-up response? Yes? I guess so?
It was a human being response. I don't know why he's expecting a fucking cookie for it.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I did the grown-up thing. Didn't fuck her right now. Ugh. Okay, she whispers, but she looks uncertain and possibly a little disappointed. What does she expect of me? And I know I need to put some distance between us to think about this. Here in my bed, she's a distraction. A pouting, soft-lipped, and beautiful distraction. I sit up and cup her face in my hands. Oh yeah, I just need to get distance from her, so I'll cup her face in my hands.
Nothing like touching her face to get distance.
That's just how that works. Let's just enjoy this holiday, I murmur and kiss her. And clamber out of bed. Yeah, let me not tease. Let's get to know each other. Let's take it slow. Let me just cup your face and kiss you. And then clamber out of bed. Oh boy.
Wait, they were still in bed this whole conversation?
Evidently. I thought she got up at some point.
Yeah, I could have sworn she did too. I thought they were standing at one point. It's like, whatever. It wouldn't shock me if it's inconsistent.
Now is not the time. It's not fair to her, and it's not fair to me. Are you leaving? Alisa asks as she sits up in bed. Her hair tumbles down around her small frame like a veil. Her eyes are rounded with concern. She looks effortlessly sexy, swamped in my pajama shirt. Those are two words that I love right next to each other. Sexy and swamped.
Swamped, yeah, because when I think sexy, I think swamps.
Yeah, no, there we go. I'm going to grab a shower, then cook us breakfast. You can cook? I laugh at her shock. Yeah, well, I can cook bacon and eggs. I give her a sheepish smile and stride into the bathroom.
I mean, I can see why she's surprised, because like he was consistently incapable of doing the most basic things for himself when she worked for him. Like, the motherfucker didn't even clean up his own condoms. That was her job.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, that was like when she was developing feelings for him. She was like, oh, she noted with some happiness that there were no fresh condoms in the litter bin next to the bed. I'm like, oh yes, a romance for the ages. Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh my god. Like, oh my, just at least pick up your like, Jesus.
Yeah, motherfucker. Take basic. So yeah, I'm not surprised she's surprised that he can cook. I'm surprised this man can dress and like breathe in and out on his own.
Can do anything for himself,
Yeah.
Besides be a giant asshat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bugger. More self abuse in the shower.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Water streams over my body, with one hand spread on the marble tile supporting me. I come quickly.
Oh, so you got the masturbation in the shower scene. Congrats!
Yay! I'm glad. What I will take issue with is she uses the wrong cum. It's COME. That's what she uses. Shouldn't it be the other one?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You'd think if anything E.L. James could get right, it would be that. But...
That word. Maybe her autocorrect didn't catch it. Oh, God. Does Grammarly catch the word cum? I don't know.
I will let you know. I will.
Oh, add that to your dictionary. There we go. All right. Thinking of her hand on my stomach and her hand wrapped around my dick. A virgin. Oh. I frown. Why am I making such a big deal at this? Good question.
Yeah.
At least she hasn't been brutalized by those fuckers.
It's the same in 50 Shades. When Anna told Asshole that she was a virgin, like he freaked out as well. Like E.L. James has this thing about virginity that's like she expects men to treat it like some sort of unexploded atomic weapon.
Oh God! I mean, to be fair, many of them do. Like, it's interesting because like this, like she's tapped into like a very male point of view that's like very toxic and gross, and it feels like she's just like stereotyped the most like incel-y type of masculinity.
Yeah,
that's like out there.
It's generally agreed upon that like Grey was her stand-in character as opposed to Anna. Like she seems to prefer seeing things from the male perspective. I'm not entirely sure why. She's just so yeah. No, you're not wrong. She does seem to like have a greater understanding of the worst possible man.
Yeah. It's like this is like the dude that I think would be like scouring like 8chan or something like weird shit. Like yeah.
I mean, if he wasn't rich, that would be his deal. But he can.
Yeah.
He was like picking up women left and right in the beginning of the first couple of chapters. So
fun. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's do. A virgin. At least she hasn't been brutalized by those fuckers. Anger flares in my gut as I think of the men coming after her. Well, I'm gonna masturbate and then think about sex.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get the moment of clarity. It's like, oh, I'm angry about human trafficking.
All right.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, you. She's safe here in Cornwall, so that's something. Perhaps she's religious. This like stream of thought. I don't.
Yeah. Again, dude, you covered it. You don't need to keep thinking up reasons why she might not be feeling that much into healthy sex right now. You've covered it with she was involved in human trafficking. Like that's enough reason to maybe be a bit hesitant to leap into a healthy sex life. You know.
Mm-hmm. She did say her grandmother was a missionary, and she wears a gold cross around her neck. I mean,
then she's probably religious then. Jesus.
Yeah, it seems fairly self-evident. Or maybe premarital sex is a taboo in Albania. I have no idea. I wash my hair and my body with soap. I wash my hair and my body with the soap Danny left for me. There we go. This is not what I had in mind when I brought her down here. Her inexperience is an issue. It's an issue. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, he's thinking about himself. This is an issue for him, is what he's trying to say.
Oh, yeah, no. I like sexually adventurous women who know what they're doing, know what they want, and know their limits. Breaking in a virgin is a big responsibility.
He had to. He had to call it breaking in. He had to. Of course he did. Okay.
Yeah, so there's that, and it's also, this makes very clear the intention is to fuck her.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the clear intent.
Yeah, he's not thinking, like, if. He's saying when and how I'm going to go about this. It's...
Yeah, it's not. This just reads even creepier because it's like, oh, I didn't bring her to save her because that seemed like an afterthought earlier. It's like
yeah, he's not like keeping her safe has only come up vaguely in like behind the how are we gonna do this? You know?
It's like that's I brought her here so we could fuck. Also, incidentally, it'll save her. It's fine. Oh god. Oh, this next line. It's a tough job, but someone has to do it. Might as well be me.
Soul leaving body. Please to continue.
At least the next line is somewhat self-aware. I stare at the CAD in the mirror. Dude, grow up.
CAD? What is this guy from the 19th century now? Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe she wants a long-term relationship. Or maybe she doesn't want anything.
Yeah, maybe you're just some guy who's basically kidnapped her at this point.
I've had 2 relationships, but neither of them for longer than 8 months. So not that long. Charlotte was socially ambitious, and she moved on to a baronet from Essex. Arabella was too into drugs for my liking. I mean, who doesn't like a bump now and then, but every day? No way. I think she's in rehab again. All right.
That's
healthy relationships.
Yeah, that's one of his 2 major relationships, and he kind of thinks she might be in rehab. Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Callous motherfucker. And
I guess doing cocaine every day, so that's, yeah. Oh, boy. A relationship with Elisa. What would that entail? I don't know, maybe respecting her basic feelings. I am getting way ahead of myself here. Wrapping a towel around my waist, I head back into the bedroom. She's gone. Fuck! My heart rate doubles. Has she fled? Again? Oh no, how dare she escape even the slightest chance of my control?
Yep.
I knock on the door of her room. No reply. I enter, and I'm relieved to hear the shower. For fuck's sake, get a grip. I leave her and go to get dressed.
I mean, he had a grip in the shower, so...
Ho ho ho!
You know I got jokes. It keeps me alive to get through this.
It's the only way. Elisa doesn't think she'll ever leave the shower. At home in Kukes, apologies if I said that wrong.
Wait,
the bathroom.
Sorry, the wording there. So that's not even like second person. That's just like she's referring to herself in the third person. The way it's written there, like Elmo thinks she'll stay in this shower forever. Sorry, please.
I mean, to be fair, I would rather stay there than be anywhere closer to this guy.
That is true. She needs to wash away the stank of that man.
After wearing his pajama shirt that swamped her, apparently.
Ugh.
The swamp of that man. All right. The bathroom had a rudimentary shower, and the floor had to be mopped after each use. At Magda's, the shower was over the bath. This shower has its own enclosed space, and the hot water cascades over her from the biggest shower head she's ever seen. Even bigger than the one in Mr. Maxim's bathroom.
Maxim.
Yeah. Maxim. It's just a weird Maxim. It's just like I'm not supposed to see an I in that name. Anyways, it's blissful and like nothing she's experienced before. She washes her hair and carefully shaves her body with the disposable razor Magda gave her.
Oh, okay.
She's been hanging on to these razors? All right. She scrubs herself down with the body wash she's brought from home. Like, there's no body wash in this place?
Yeah, right. What the hell sort of summer home is this? It's like... I think...
She's bringing her own disposable razors and her own body wash.
But I'm really glad that we know that she's shaved, because, like, I'd hate to think that she has leg hair while she's hiding from sex traffickers.
Oh, yeah, no body hair at all. Her soapy hand moves over her breasts, and she closes her eyes. I want you, Elisa, very much. He wants her. Her hand moves down.
Oh.
Another bathroom masturbation scene. Here we go. One right after the other. And in her mind, it's his hand on her body, touching her intimately. She wants him too. She recalls waking up in his arms and feeling the warmth and strength of his body against her skin. Her belly flutters at the memory of her hand as her hand moves. Faster, faster, and faster. She leans against the warm tiles and raises her head. Her mouth opens as she gulps in air. Maxim, Maxim, ah. Her muscles clench deep inside as she comes. Again, the wrong.
It's the wrong. Yeah, you're coming wrong, E.L. James. Jeebus.
Catching her breath, she opens her eyes. This is what she wants, isn't it? Can she trust him? Yes. Sure.
Sure, why not? Yeah, I'm just also like she points her head up in the shower, so is she not drowning?
Yeah, I was like thinking, like that was my thought. It's like she's like feeling it, like gargling.
Maxim! Yeah.
I mean, that's how I masturbate in the shower.
Oh yeah, I mean,
slowly drowning myself, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like choking yourself, but with water.
Stumbled on it. I think we've created a new kink.
Oh no!
Not to kink shame anybody, but that's a fun one.
Yeah, if waterboarding is your kink, go for it.
I'm sure it's somebody's. Let's see. He's done nothing to shake the trust she's placed in him.
I mean, sure. If you'd been in his head, you'd know that's very not true.
Not even close. Last night he rescued her from her night terrors. He was kind and gentle. He let her sleep with him to keep her nightmares away. Oh, how... Yeah. Oh, gosh. She feels safe with him. She hasn't felt safe for so long. It's a novel feeling, even though she knows that Dante and Yali, apologies if I said that wrong, are still out there somewhere looking for her. No, do not think about them. It's going right from like masturbation to like
again, yeah, exact same thing. Masturbation to sex trafficking memories.
Yeah, it's She wishes she knew more about men. Do you? Men and women in, again, apologies if I say this wrong, Kukes, don't interact like they do in England. At home, men socialize with men, women with women. It has always been this way. Not having brothers and kept separate from her male cousins in social situations, her experience was limited to the few male students she met at university. And her father, of course.
I mean, I bet everything I have that E.L. James has never been to Albania, but okay.
Almost certainly. And again, it's like masturbation, sex slavery, father. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what you think about afterwards?
All the time.
While you're drowning yourself in the shower?
Oh, I'm so glad I got this chapter. All right. She runs her hands through her hair. Mr. Maxim is not like any man she's ever known. With the water pouring onto her face, she resolves to put all her problems out of her mind. Today, as Maxim says, it's a holiday, her first. Wrapping her hair in a towel and her body in a bath sheet, she pads into the bedroom. A pounding beat is coming from downstairs. She listens. The music seems odd with what she knows about him. I'm assuming it's just like...
Yes, he's making extra techno music.
Just making breakfast. His compositions suggest a quieter, more introspective man than the one blasting this loud music through the house. Very introspective.
If by introspective you mean he keeps the worst of his psychotic thoughts inside, sure. Otherwise, nothing has happened so far has led to believe that he doesn't voice every other interest that he has.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. She lays out her clothes on the bed. All of them, with the exception of her jeans and bra, have been given to her by Magda and Mikhail. She frowns, wishing she had something more attractive to wear. Sure.
Yeah, why not?
She slips on an off-white long-sleeved t-shirt to wear over her jeans. It's a little shapeless, but it will have to do. Ooh, oh, heavens that I don't prepare myself for the male gaze at all times. It's all she has. It's all I have.
It's all I have. Just these not sexy enough jeans. Woe is me.
Towel drying and then brushing out her hair. Wait, is she still towel drying her? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, did she put on the shirt and then dry off? I was confused. Okay, it's just her hair. Then towel drying, she brushes out her hair. She leaves it loose and heads downstairs. Through the glass wall surrounding the staircase, she watches Maxim in the kitchen. He's wearing a pale gray sweater and the ripped black jeans, and has a tea towel draped over her shoulder while he stands at the stove. He's frying bacon. The aroma is delicious. To be fair, I could get that. And he's shuffling to the beat of the dance music.
You cool. We were being sarcastic.
Yeah, we got it. It's
gonna make that fucking bacon. Yeah, no.
just like sizzling to the beat.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, the beat of the dance music that is thumping through the home. Who does that to breakfast? Elisa cannot help but grin. While cleaning his apartment, she had never seen any evidence he could cook. Men, where she is from, don't cook or dance while cooking. All right.
That's a thing. A sweeping statement to make about an entire country, right?
Especially since she also admits that she doesn't know men. So, all right.
I know nothing about men, but I do know what they don't do.
Sure. Yeah. The flex of his broad shoulders, the swivel of his slim hips, and his bare feet tapping in perfect time to the music are mesmerizing. She feels a delicious tightening in her belly. He rakes his fingers through his damp hair, then flips the bacon. So it's just greasing up his hair there. Her mouth waters. The smell. The sight of him. Don't ruin bacon for me this way.
Yeah, oh no. Yeah. Bacon eggs will forever be E.L. James from now on.
No, you can't take bacon from me. He turns suddenly, and his face lights up when he sees her on the stairs. His enormous smile mirrors hers.
Yep.
One egg or two. One egg or two! He shouts over the music. One! She mouths as she comes down the stairs into the big room. She turns and gasps as she looks out through the floor-to-ceiling window. The sea! Apologies if I say this wrong. Da-tee, the sea! She shouts, sprinting to the glass wall of doors that lead onto the balcony.
Like, the most disturbing thing about this is you could replace her in your head with, like, a literal toddler, and the actions would be the same. Like, it would...
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that. I did not need that.
You're welcome.
Oh, boy. It's just like, infantilization fantasies just weird me out.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's the same thing. Sorry, this is an aside, but I wrote a video about like sex in Star Trek, and it was writing about Star Trek Voyager and Kes. I don't know if you've seen Star Trek Voyager.
I have, and I know, Kes and Neelix deeply disturbed me. Like once I was old, like I watched it first when I was a kid, it didn't bother me too much. Coming back to it, I was like, oh man. Also, Neelix is like openly toxic. Like he's jealous, he's controlling.
Oh yeah,
and she says that like, you're so jealous, Neelix. You're so controlling. I was like, how is? But we like, there's no arc for that. They break up off screen, and then he never really learns from that. They just kill her off to replace her with 7 of 9, you know?
Yep. It's it's pretty fucked up. And they like make very clear, like in the first season, she is under 2 years old. So it's like,
yeah, Neelix needs to go to prison.
Anywho, I lower the heat onto the bacon and hurry to the balcony doors to join Elisa, who's jumping from foot to foot, incandescent with excitement. Can we go down to the sea? Her eyes are alive with delight as she bounces up and down like a child. There it is, just making it literal.
Yep, say the quiet part loud. Yep.
Of course. Here. I unlock the balcony door and slide it open so she can go outside. Like a dog. A gust of the dog part I added. That was not
okay.
That was not
I wasn't even going to question it. I was like, yeah, might as well.
Sure. I mean, it fits.
Yeah.
A gust of glacial air catches us both by surprise. It's freezing, but she rushes out, not caring about her wet hair, bare feet, or thin t-shirt. Doesn't this woman have any decent clothes? I'm just gonna... I know, the sex slave... Yeah. No.
Yeah, nothing like... Yeah, your person who comes in to clean your house once a day, you thought was going to be like... Rolling Gucci or whatever it's called.
Who also like had to escape like being kidnapped. It's like, oh yeah, she's like, oh, let me grab my best Sunday best, you know?
Yeah.
On the way out the door. I pick up a gray throw that's draped over the back of the sofa and walk out after her. I wrap my arms in the blanket around her, holding her as she admires the view. Her face is lit up with wonder. The hideout and our 3 other holiday homes are built along a rocky promontory? I don't even know that word. Promontory? Rocky promontory.
Is it promenade?
No, it's not promenade. I would know that. Promontory. Promontory.
Oh, I got nothing. Sorry, that's hitting me right in the dyslexia.
Yeah, I legitimately do not know what that word is, actually. That's surprising. Yeah. I'm assuming it's something posh and pretentious.
Yeah.
A small wine... I'm sure it's a word that's, like, means you can just say, like, outcrop, and it would be like, much easier. Anyways, a small winding path at the end of the garden leads down to the beach. It's a bright, clear day. The sun is shining, but it's bitterly cold in the howling wind. The sea is chilly blue, flecked with white surf, and we hear the boom of the waves as they crash against the cliffs on each side of the cove. The air smells fresh and salty. Elisa turns to me, her expression one of complete awe. Come, let's eat. I'm conscious that breakfast is on the stove. I want to just turn around, the house is on fire. just a twist that I'd actually be here for. All right. You'll catch your death out here. We'll go down to the beach after breakfast. We head back inside and close the door. I just have to do the eggs. I shout about... I just have to do the eggs! I shout
back
about
in techno music zone.
Yeah, it just goes from like the salty sea, the rush of the waves to...
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently that music stopped as they stepped out the open door.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like romantic, like da da da. It's like you're just looking out over the sea, then going back to.
Yeah, WAP suddenly coming on the radio.
All right, let me help. Elisa shouts, following me into the kitchen area, still draped in the blanket. I turn the Sonos volume down via the app on my phone.
Because we needed that information. Yeah.
Yeah, just like you gotta have that. Interesting music, she says in a tone that tells me that perhaps it's not her thing. It's Korean house. I use a few tracks when I DJ.
Oh.
I retrieve... It's an interesting pick.
I'd forgotten he was a DJ, but of course he is. Like, he ticks every other douchebag box.
Yeah, it's like I guess I DJ and also have a summer home, like... Sure.
Well, he's old money. He's been just basically doing whatever the fuck he wants for like most of his life. So
yeah, it's like it's a weird fantasy like mishmash there. Like I don't know. Anyways, like when I think of a book that's supposed to be like sexual fantasy, The Mister, it's like I don't think like DJ is like the where I want to go.
DJ, black and white photographer, adult child, and infantized woman and man baby. The love story.
Yeah, sure. I retrieved the eggs from the fridge. 2 eggs? No, 1. You sure? Yes. Okay, just 1. I'm having 2.
I'm
just imagining him doing that, like, I'm having 2.
But like the egg negotiation is like this is just a microcosm for this entire book where it's like she can't just say I made eggs, or it has to be like I pick up the eggs, I shell the eggs, I put it in the thing, I whisk it, I make the thing. It's like I ask her if she wants to pass the salt, she passes me the salt. It's just like you don't have to micro describe every action these people take. It just this book without this would be about a chapter long.
And it's just like making very clear that like she's not going to eat too much. Can't have a woman like gorge herself.
Yeah.
She has to stay small and dainty.
She's a one egg kind of humble.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oof. All right. You can make some toast. Bread is in the fridge and the toaster is over there. It's like, go make the toast.
Yeah, but let me micromanage you the entire time.
Yeah. Together we work in the kitchen and I'm able to watch her. Using her long, nimble fingers, she fishes the toast out of the toaster and butters each slice. She's like, oh god. Okay. Anyways.
No, she's like I'm doing nimble fingers. What she's like, da 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 da, toast.
But like I thought the toaster like pops it out. You're not like digging in the toaster.
She doesn't know the trick where you push the button up to pick it up. She's gonna be like, I'm playing surgeon. But Shay, luckily she's got those nimble fingers.
Yeah, you gotta have the nimble fingers. Just Chekhov's gunning those nimble fingers. They'll be used later, I'm sure.
Oh god.
This is all just one long Chekhov's gun for sex. Is all this is.
You're right, and I hate that I see it now.
Yep. God. Sorry, I just had to say, if you have nimble fingers in the first act, you gotta have them masturbate the dude by the third. Anyways. Have to have him go off by the third.
Oh, no! Chekhov's gunning his dick now. Oh, no.
Sorry, I had to do it.
You did, and I admire you for it.
Where was I? We're at Fishing Toaster. Here. I take the 2 plates out of the warming drawer and place them on the counter, ready for toast. She grins as I serve up the rest of our breakfast. I don't know about you, but I'm famished. I abandon the frying pan in the sink, collect both plates, and usher her towards the dining table, where I've laid 2 places. Elisa looks impressed. Oh, you've done basic breakfast. I'm so impressed.
Bacon and eggs is literally pan. Put it on pan. Take it off pan. It's like, oh yeah, impressive, man. Yeah, you managed what every student can do.
Yeah, you've done basic college food. Good for you. And you put it on the table? Oh,
wow, yeah.
What does this make me feel that I finally achieved? Why does this make me feel like I finally achieved something? Sit here. You could enjoy the view.
And of course, he's referring to himself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, almost certainly. How is that? Maxim asks. They are seated at the large dining table, Elisa at the head. Why don't we switch point of views here? Elisa at the head, where she's never sat before, and she's enjoying the view, the seascape. Yeah, no, making very clear she's never had any agency or sense of self-respect.
Yeah, but London is also only about I think about an hour and a half via train to the seaside. This is... Apparently she was just too poor to even manage that, is what we're supposed to take away from this.
Oh, boy. Delicious. You are a man with many accomplishments. Like, oh, boy, you're so bacon, they're just really driving in like this was a big deal. It was a big deal they made bacon and eggs.
You should have heard the big deal they made out of an umbrella he lent her. Like, he lent her an umbrella when it's raining, and she talks about it for like 3 solid days. Like,
oh, my God.
The bare minimum from this man blows her mind.
God. Match made in heaven or hell or whatever level of hell. You'd be amazed, he said dryly, his voice a little husky, and for some reason his tone and the way he looks at her makes her breath catch. Do you want to go for a walk? Yes. Okay.
He can walk too.
Taking it. Oh, boy, like a dog again. You want to go for a walk now?
Oh no.
yeah. You've had breakfast. You want to go for? Oh God, yeah. No, it's the same vibe though. It's the same vibe.
You're not wrong.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Taking his phone, he dials a number. Elisa wonders who he's calling. Danny, he says. No, we're fine. Can you bring a hairdryer over? Oh, there are? Okay. Then I need a pair of Wellingtons or walking boots. He looks directly at Elisa. What size? He asks. She has no idea what he's talking about. Shoe size, he clarifies. 38?
Is she been a hobbit this whole time? Okay, I'm assuming. Okay, yeah, no, this must be an Albanian thing. But like, I was just for a second there, my mind was filled with the glorious image of this woman with 38 size shoes.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like the Super Mario Brothers, like the Mario shoe that Mario like goes around and like flattens Goombas in, like yeah. Oh my God. But I think like that's size 5. So I think like she's just misunderstanding cultural thing. And some socks if you have any. Yes. For a woman, it doesn't matter. And a decent, bloody warm coat. Yes. For a woman. Slim. Small. As soon as possible. I'm imagining him just going over the phone.
Yeah, that's really rude, dude.
Yeah. He listens for a moment. So he's like not stopped. There's just been like one, like he doesn't give any pause. It's just like, that's size 5 and some socks if you have any. Yes, for a woman, it doesn't matter. A bloody warm, like it's just like all one stream.
Bloody warm coat. Not just a regular warm coat. Bloody warm.
Yeah. Fantastic, he says, and hangs up. I have a coat. You won't be warm enough. And I don't know about the Albanian sock thing, but it's cold out there. All right.
I think that's casual. I guess necking her coat, I think is what that was.
Yeah, that's weird. She flushes. She only has 2 pairs of socks because she can't afford more. And this is just like poor shaming her. And she couldn't ask Magda for another pair. Magda had done enough for her. Dante and Yili again, apologies if I said it wrong,
Yeah.
had confiscated her luggage when she'd arrived in Brentford. Magda had burned most of the clothes she'd been wearing. They were no longer fit to be worn. Who is Danny? She lives not far from here, Maxim says, directing his attention to the empty plates as he stands to clear the table.
That doesn't answer the question, but yeah.
Sure. Let me, she says, shocked that he's clearing up. Whew, oh my. I will wash them too. She takes the plates from him and places them in the sink. No, I'll do this. There should be a hairdryer in the chest of drawers in the wardrobe in your room. Go dry your hair. But surely he's not going to wash up. No man does that. No buts. I'll do it. You've cleaned up after me enough often. Often enough.
Okay.
But it is my job. Today it isn't. You're my guest. Go. His tone is clipped. Stern. Today it isn't. You're my guest. Go. His tone is clipped. Stern. A frisson of apprehension runs up her spine.
Oh, wow. So this isn't even like, oh no, I insist. It's like, no, get out. He's like barking orders at her and setting off a fight or flight response. That's
yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. It also is just like a frisson.
I've not been keeping up with the PDF. Let me see.
No, you're fine. It's just it's like I get it from context clues what it is. It's just like a shiver of apprehension runs up her spine essentially. But it's just like it's clear like word by thesaurus. Like I don't think anyone's like used frisson.
Oh, right, frisson is in like the union of like fusion fission sort of thing. So
yeah,
maybe I don't know. I could be well off, but yeah, frisson. That's she's hitting the thesaurus again, as you know. That's what she's doing. She's just going through. Yeah.
A sudden, strong feeling of excitement or fear, a thrill. So it's basically
the opposite of apprehension.
Yeah, a thrill of apprehension. Yeah, so that word is not
applicable at all. No, you're right. You caught her.
yeah,
we got her.
That's definitely a word by the source. That was like, oh yeah. It just reminds me of like whatchamacallit, the guy who writes the Thomas Covenant books. He always used like Roinus. They're always like Roinus orcs or whatever. Oh. It's just like a word that it constantly pops up in his work. Anyways, sorry, I was reading the Thomas Covenant books recently, so I was just
nice. Okay. We'll have to talk about them later.
Yeah. Okay, she whispers, and hurries out of the kitchen, confused and wondering if he's angry with her. Please don't be angry. How did this like suddenly like shift to like
Yeah, he's so commanding about doing the dishes. He's literally terrified her. That's sexy.
Yeah. Elisa, he calls. She stops at the foot of the stairs and studies her feet. Are you okay? At least she's checking on her. Yeah. She nods before she dashes up the stairs.
One thing I've noticed about this is that it does switch back and forth and without warning, but like it really favors Maxim. Like she'll get like a paragraph in the whole chapter and it'll be mostly him. And it throws me off because I'm not used to it being so weirdly one-sided when it's supposedly a split narrator. But...
Yeah. Well, we're about to go back to him, and this one's actually pretty short. What the fuck? What did I say? I watch her retreating figure, noting that she deliberately avoids eye contact with me. Shit. You know who? You know what I'm starting to see this guy as? Like, this guy is much more positive masculinity, but like I'm imagining the same like feeling. Do you ever watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah, yeah.
The footballer guy. Why am I blanking on his name? Rory. Not the like shit. Like
oh, I'm blanking on it. Sorry, but
I forget his name. But yeah, you know, I'm just imagining him. But he's a much more positive, masculine character. But I can't remember his name. Anyways, I've upset her, but I don't know how or why. I'm tempted to go after her, but decide against it and begin to load the dishwasher and clean up. 20 minutes later, I'm putting away the frying pan. The entry phone rings. Danny. I glance up at the stairs, hoping that Elisa will appear, but she doesn't. I press the buzzer to let Danny in and turn off the music, knowing she will not approve.
So who the fuck? I'm assuming Danny's an employee because he's barking orders at her like she's a trained seal, but...
yeah, my assumption would be that.
But he's aware of her enough to turn off the music because he fears what she doesn't like?
Evidently.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if she works for you, then why do you care? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I guess I'm not going to shame the man for thinking of a female character, at least in some way. At least in this book, anyways. Yeah. All right, back to her. So I don't know what the hell that
Well, see what I mean about the pacing? It's like you'll get 1 second of just this one thought from his head, then back to the other person. You know, it's usually happened the other way around until this point, but it's so it breaks up the rhythm of reading so hard. Like it's so impossible to keep a flow going, even if you didn't have me interrupting you constantly. It's just like it takes you out of the moment where it's like body switching for like 1 second and zooming back to the other person. You know?
Yeah, and it's like, and it's just like tonal whiplash too. So it's like, even if I was like supposed to be getting all hot and bothered by this book, which is, I assume is ostensibly the goal, is like I can't like invest in anything. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, the hair, and it is. You're right. This is so boring. Why do I give a crap about the hairdryer? The hairdryer's high-pitched wheeze rings in her ear as Elisa brushes her hair beneath its heat. With each stroke, her heartbeat settles to a more even pace. Okay, weird one. He had sounded like her father. Oh, so we're adding daddy issues into this.
Yeah, oh good. I'm so glad that he's reminding her of her father now. This is exactly what this situation needed.
Let's get more weirdly. It's not exactly Oedipal, but it's
reverse that. Yeah,
yeah, same vein. And she reacted the way she'd always reacted to her father, by getting out of his way. Baba had never forgiven her or her mother that his only child is a girl, though it's her poor mother who bears the brunt of his anger. Weird. Weird,
wait,
like
present tense. Yeah, that's so weird.
I guess she's still alive, so I guess he's still.
Yeah, but like
it's just weird.
They've not had contact, I believe, since she came to England. So it's like I guess she's just assuming that her mother takes the brunt of it.
Yeah, it's just weird tense. But Mr. Maxim is nothing like her father. Nothing. Sure, I would say all evidence to the contrary, but all right. She finishes her hair and knows that the only way to restore her equilibrium and forget about her family for a while is to play the piano. Music is her escape. It's been her only escape. I'm like glad that he's like triggered her so much that she like needs to like have a safe space. Like it's just over like picking up the dishes.
And again, I can understand how this could happen in her situation, but then you have to think about like why was the choice made in this supposedly this romance book to have this man trigger her in like a traumatic parental way? Like what was the logic in that? I thought this is going to make an engaging but also intriguing story.
Yeah, it's like again, this is a dynamic I could totally see like a happening where it's just like a guy like is so like he just doesn't know how to like control his anger, like it fluctuates so quickly. But it's like that's not sexy. That's like
that's
like creepy.
That's a good reason to get into therapy. It's not like
yeah. It's like when you're in a relationship with a dude. Not that they're in a relationship, but clearly the goal is heading that way. It's like with a dude who like just back and forth between emotional whiplash that it like triggers you so much. It's like maybe not healthy, actually. When she comes back downstairs, Mr. Maxim has disappeared. She wonders where, but her fingers are itching to play. She sits down at the little white upright, lifts the lid, and with no preamble, launches into her angry Bach prelude in C minor. She's an angry. So it's like, you're going for escape, but you're like venting anger? It's a weird...
How is that the dun 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 dun? Is that Bach or am I getting that? That's probably Mozart.
You're asking the wrong person.
I'll play I'll edit in a blast of it just so we can try and imagine that, but angry.
Yeah. The music blazes through the room in hues of brilliant orange and red, burning away any thoughts of her father and setting her free. So there's the synesthesia coming in.
Mm-hmm.
When she opens her eyes, so should she close her eyes?
I think.
How is she see?
I think she can see it with her eyes. I'm guessing from context that she still sees these colors with her eyes closed.
Gotcha. It's just weird that it's saying it blazes through the room. The previous sentence is the music blazes through the room in hues of brilliant orange and red, burning away any thoughts of her father and setting her free. When she opens her eyes, Maxim is watching her. So it's weird that it like blazes through the room, but her eyes are closed.
Because she's literally seeing the room, and okay, yep, no, okay, yep,
sure. That was incredible, he whispers. Thank you, she says. He takes a step closer and strokes her cheek with the back of his finger, then tilts her chin up so she's lost in his magnetic gaze. His eyes are the most spectacular color. Up close, she notices that the irises are a darker green around the edge, the color of, apologies if I say this wrong, Cook's Freer? while also toward the dilating pupil they're lighter, like a fern in the spring. When he leans down, she thinks he's going to kiss her, but he doesn't. I don't know what I did to upset you. I don't know what I did to upset you, he says. She puts her fingers over his mouth, silencing him. You did nothing wrong. This dialogue feels like it should be the other way around. You did nothing wrong, she whispers. Her lips purse into a kiss against her fingertips, and she removes her hand.
Yeah, no shit. It's like, lick my hands. You must...
Yeah, weird. Oh, God. Well, if I did, I'm sorry. Now, do you want to go for a walk on the beach? She beams at him. Yes. Okay, you need to wrap up warm. Elisa is impatient. She practically pulls me down the stony path. At the bottom, we step onto the beach, and Elisa can contain herself no more. She releases my hand and runs towards the raging sea, her hat flying off and her hair whipping in the sea. The sea! The sea! She cries and twirls around, her arms in the air. Her earlier pick, I don't actually know that word off. Pick? I don't know. Is forgotten. Her smile is wide and her face bright, lit from within by her joy. I stride across the coarse sand and rescue her discarded woolly hat. The sea! She shouts again from the roar of the water. She gesticulates wildly.
Oh no, what?
Her arms like a crazy windmill.
That's only one step above
welcoming each
undulating when it comes to bad words to use.
Yeah. I always love the word. I think gesticulate's a great word, but not in this context. It's not a sexy word. Welcoming each wave as it crashes to the shore. It's impossible not to smile. Her unbridled enthusiasm for this first-time event is too appealing and too affecting. I grin as she squeals and dances back to avoid the breakers on the shoreline. So I just looked over in your face.
Yeah, it's just it's the fact that she is just a child. It's, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely not that. She looks ridiculous, dressed in oversized Wellingtons and an oversized coat. Again, yeah, it's definitely infantilizing. Her face is flushed, her nose pink, and she is utterly breathtaking. My heart clenches. It's a clenched heart? Okay. Ouch. She runs towards me with childish abandon, again saying the quiet part loud, and grabs my hand. The sea! She cries.
I love this voice you're giving her. The sea!
Oh, it's the sea! She cries once more and drags me to the crashing waves, and I go willingly, surrendering myself to her joy.
And she drowns him. The end.
Yeah, it feels like that's straight up like the siren call. The sea!
The sea! Now